Alright, hey everybody. Let's get started right on the dot today. Tweet this out. There we go. Now, today I'm planning to finish up everything that we'll do for this chess game. That way over the weekend I can start planning the next one. So, it should be pretty fun. I took some time since the last stream also to figure out how to fix a problem we were having. Basically, if you try to reconnect during the part of the turn where one game has sent its end of turn phase to the server, it can cause some problems because basically when you reconnect, the game will hang there because the client that disconnected is waiting for you to send it your turn, or like your turn action. But that won't ever happen because you already took the action, so we need to try and fix that. And how I think I'll do it is we'll actually put the turn state into the board and then we'll send the state over the network. So that way if you reconnect and the turn state is set to the wait server, then you'll know to just go ahead and right away evaluate your end of turn state and send it to the server. So that's what I'm planning on doing. So it won't be a huge deal. So first we've got to set it every time that the board is created. Which I guess the board is only created here, so... Okay, yeah, I gotta create the accessor. Okay, and now we need to add this value also to the network game state. Okay, and now basically we need to make sure that that is set every time we generate a network game state. Which I think, let me just look through here. The game state compiler, and also the game start generator, that's where these are created. So we'll set it to none here because it's just starting. Okay. So now we need to... Another problem is that before we had used the state machine for the turn state, but I think I want people to, or I want the scripts to use the turn state that's in the board. So we should actually just have a message here that's like, yeah, no arguments even, and it's just a turn state change. Another way that we could have done it is actually put this turn state machine into the board. But the only reason I don't like that is because the board object changes all the time. So yeah, I still go back and forth about whether that was a good design decision, but what's done is done. Okay, so now all we have to do here is say board turn state. And then so anytime, yeah, see, so it's going to be a bit more open to bugs, but if we just make sure that only the match machine or match manager changes the turn state, it should be okay. And then we need to call the turn state change here. Turn state change. Just copy and paste this. Okay. And then so basically whenever we get a new board, we need to match the turn state. So let's see. Maybe a better way to do this. Let's private void and then board turn state equals state and then send. Oh, that's not one. Okay, and so now we can just call this function. Yeah, this should help prevent bugs. And then I also set it right here. Alright, so when we get a new board, private void received board let's change this. And then what we'll also need to do, actually before we do this, do turn state old turn state equals this. Yeah, just to not have any confusion, let's rename that. So board equals null. Then we'll have none. Otherwise, it will be board turn state. Then, oops. If the old turn state is different than now, then we need to send the turn state change. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to figure out. So basically, if we're in the choosing state now, we need to call next turn command false, I guess. Maybe a better way to do that was actually to call these messages when we set the turn state. Okay, so switch, turn state. So if turn choosing, then we call next turn command false, and this is really just rename start turn command. Okay, and then here we would need to get this function called, which is in the turn manager. Okay, so the turn manager just tells you if the action was good or not. So I guess that we'll actually need to save this turn action execution result here in the match state. Yeah. Okay, so we really need to make another function here. So private void. I don't think this needs to be a separate function now anyway, either. So maybe I'll just steal this. Okay, what's it complaining about? Oh. Okay. So now, right. So if it's waits over, then we just call send end of turn state. So I guess what I should actually do is just call this function, and then automatically when I set the turn state, it will call this send end of turn state for me. I think that would be okay. I don't think any bugs will happen for moving that message forward. Okay, so one problem is here is we set the turn state to choosing and it would automatically send the start turn command, but then we send it again with a true. I don't know if that would actually cause any problems. So let's see. So start turn choosing. So the first time we send it with false, so it skips this. And then if it's local player turn, it would call this. Let's look at the turn chooser. Where is the... Okay, so yeah, it would log already choosing. Yeah, so I guess I'll comment this out because now we'll always do it. Yeah, obviously, probably for a slightly smoother logic, we would rewrite some of that code. But yeah, when I first started this, I guess I didn't really know all that would be involved with the netcode, so. Alright. Okay, so now I'm pretty sure this will work. Let's see if it throws any errors here. So let's build the second player and just try to go through it a few turns and make sure everything works normally, and then I'll start disconnecting. It'll be pretty difficult to test this because we'll have to disconnect at just the right point. Oh, right. I forgot one important part. So every time, since I changed the, where is it? Yeah, I changed this from a state machine to just a message. I'm going to need to go through and, oh, thankfully not too many things use it. Okay, so yeah, this is just a message now. It already has the board, that's fine. we don't need a reference to this anymore. We just want to subscribe to changes. Okay, so now we'll actually get the board turn state. Okay. Let's try this again. Doesn't matter what they pick. Okay, so something else. On connection state change. Let's see. So it's saying the board is not created yet. How do I want to do that? Well, I guess if the board's not created yet, then nothing really matters at that point. So if board does not equal null. Okay, I think I can see another problem that I'm gonna have here. Did it set turn state? Okay. Well, that shouldn't have happened, I don't think, because by this point we should have had the board. But so when we call this receive new board, we can't call this set turn state until we wait until this event is over, because some things might not have gotten the board yet. We already have this update function, so okay, so reset turn state. Okay, so yeah, instead of calling set turn state, we'll just set reset turn state to true. There are probably better ways to do this, but this will be fine. And set turn state, and then it's just the board. Turn state. Alright, there we go. Alright, start everything up again. Alright, so now it loaded. That's good. So I'll just load or do a couple moves. Okay, something weird's happening because it says that both players' turns are active. New board. Okay, so I don't know what I changed that would actually cause this weirdness to happen. Oh, okay, actually I do know. Okay, so I guess I can't call this set turn state, because what was happening is I call it the first time. Where am I? Yeah, right here. So I call set turn state at this point, and then it calls start turn command false, so it doesn't increment. But the problem is, say it's the player 1's turn at first, so then we call start turn choosing, and then afterwards it sends true, which increments the turn, and then it calls this again, so it's the other player's turn, and so they both think that they can move. So yeah, obviously some of the way this works is not the best, but we don't have time to rewrite it all, so we'll just do something a bit hacky. So board turn state equals okay, so I think that would be fine. It's the same thing, except we don't call the start turn command until we send true to increment. Okay, so let's try and move stuff now. Okay, good. So this player, it's not their turn anymore. Okay, so yeah, everything seems to be good now. I'll just click forfeit. Okay. So now let's try another game, and this time I'll disconnect. I'll just have them move once. And now I'm gonna try and move and disconnect, like, actually let's just try disconnect right here and see if it all works right. Okay, and yeah, it's my turn. So now I'll just move this. Okay, everything is good. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and move this pawn, and right after I click, my fingers are moving over Alt F4 to close this window. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so I wonder what state it's in right now. Don't need to see this stuff right now. Oh, I thought I actually showed the board, but it looks like I don't. Okay. Well, let's just restart it and see what happens. I guess we can see here what in a turn state. Undecided. Okay, so we did already get the state from the server. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it fast enough. But let's try one more time, I guess. Let's see, it's just that time it didn't even close. Yeah, we still got the server and the turn reply. I wonder what happens if I exit here. Okay. Will it still let me move again? Okay, yeah, so that's kind of a problem. I mean, it's not a huge deal because it just lets, well, I mean, it's kind of a bug, but it doesn't really affect the game. Let's see, would that be easy to fix, I wonder? Well, one other thing we have to do is, yeah, when we enter the lobby scene, let's see, where is it? Lobby, maybe I already do this, but yeah, I gotta, it's connected, or, okay. I need to set the once active game here to false or not. Or, yeah, just set it to false if it's connected. When is this? When do we set this to true actually? Okay, so it's set to true here, which is actually in the chess scene. Yeah, so that's good. So yeah, this is pretty good, but now let's see if we can do this real quick. Reconnection during end of game screen. If it's going to be a big deal, then I won't worry about it because it doesn't really affect gameplay. So what would we do here? Well, we have the match manager and it has this match state. So yeah, probably we should include this match state in the board as well. which is kind of a bit annoying because we're going to have to go through and change everything again. Private. Find all references. So really not very much uses it. So it won't, I don't think it'll be too difficult to fix. Right, so the board creator we set board dot match state equals, oh wait. Yeah, so here we just copy whatever we have in this network game state. And here, start generator. What is the first one? I guess uninitialized, yeah. Does the match manager ever actually use that? Okay, yes, that's correct. So again, we can't use a state machine for the match state. But luckily, I don't think we'll run into too much problems with this, because it was mostly just internal. Oh, hi, iCraze. Yeah, it's just a pretty simple chess game. I mainly wanted to make it because I wanted to learn how networking and the modding systems work in Unity. So basically my goal was to make, I don't know, a generic board game engine that I could run a chess mod in that was also multiplayer. And today, this is actually going to be the last day I'm going to work on it before I move on to the next project, so I'm just finishing up some loose ends. But yeah, on the board, we should also probably send this end type as well. No AI in this, is only PvP. So I'm trying to figure out, I mean really disconnecting during the end screen is, now that I think about it, should we even have that be possible? Yeah, you love chess but not amazing at it. That's same here. Yeah, I think we don't need to send this. Why don't we, I think it might even be better if we just don't allow reconnections during the game over phase. That way we don't have to change anything. Okay, so yeah, let's delete this. Because I was thinking about how will if I did this, I'd have to also store the like the game over state and send it over the network when they reconnect, and it seems easy, but we'd have to change the way it works to keep track of if the host or the client won, for example. Alright, and I think this is the last spot. So what I'll do is once the match manager sends this game over message, I'll actually set the reconnection manager to already not connect to in progress games. Oh, you think I'm talented? Oh, thank you, Guy Craze. It's a lot of practice, mostly. State machine, so I guess we can just watch for that game end message. So I won't have to cache that over here. Components, get or register. It's just a message. I think it has game end type. Let me see what I called it for sure. Okay, so it's a simple game end. And then we'll subscribe to it here. So on game end. But really, yeah, I don't think we actually care about the type. All we do here is that whenever this is called, we just set game in progress to false, and that will prevent the server from accepting any new connections. Okay, so let's try that out. Alright, so join with the second player and start the game as the host. So really all I want to do is load up game, immediately forfeit, and then try to reconnect while this game over message is here. Hopefully the server will just not even let it reconnect. Okay, yeah, so that's... Okay, so that's what I wanted to happen. Probably should have a better message here, but... So now we just exit. Okay. And then I think we can just start a new game. Alright, and then it all works, okay. Alright, I guess we'll try moving a piece just to make sure it's all synchronized. And we'll capture. Alright, so it looks all good. Alright, that's good to see. So we can check that off. So this is kind of important, because right now the player can change their selected mod and other preferences after they've clicked the ready button in the lobby, and obviously that is not what we want. So So we have this ready status. Is this set correctly? Thought I had, yeah, here. Okay. Yeah, some of this code is in need of a cleanup, but I won't worry about it today. Okay, so really all we have to do is if this, where is it? Oh, this is this. I was looking at the wrong thing. Subscribe, on ready status change. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. Thanks, iCraze. Okay, so yeah, whenever this is set to true, then we shouldn't be able to click any buttons. This is the main thing. So let's see how difficult that will be. So we have this mod list and button. Okay, so we do. Oh, no, we actually. Okay, we do have this choosable setting. That's good to see. Okay, so right. So grab this variable. I guess we'll want to subscribe to, so I'll copy both of the code to save some typing. What did I call it? Ready status. Okay, so say refresh. Interactable. So I guess I should make sure that we don't set choosable any other place. Where was that? Mod list button. Okay, yeah, so we just set it to true here. So it actually should be ready status, or the opposite of this, so. Okay, and I'll change this, I guess. Oops, what did I click? Okay. Change this to refresh ready status. Or actually it should be like on ready status change would make more sense. So now I've got a loop through every button. Okay, we got it right there. And then button dot choosable equals not ready status value. So now it's just like before, it has to be, we have to have not clicked the button and then the mod buttons will be active. And then I also need to do this for the, well, I guess let's test this first. Make sure I'm not overlooking something. Okay, so it's not working at all. It's strange. Is this the same thing that... Well, we had the exit button, and it was updating correctly. So I guess I'll look and see how that did it. No, that's correct. Oh, it's because this choosable doesn't actually, you just set it, it doesn't like push forward to the actual GUI buttons in Unity. So how do I do that? Okay, so I have to call this event. So let's try that. And now hopefully, okay, well first I have to pick a mod for this to even become available. Alright, and then they gray out so they're no longer changeable. Okay, now I can pick them again. Okay, let's see, well let me cancel this so it won't go through. Does this also work? Yeah, it's not as important for the client because they don't actually, well their choices are just suggestions, but it works anyway, so that's fine. So now I also need to change the the turn order preferences buttons. It should be about the same. Just copy some of this code to save some typing. Alright, then I need to generate this function. Let's see, how did I do these buttons? Okay, so unfortunately it doesn't look like I had an option to turn these buttons off. So I'm going to need to add that. Okay, so yeah, choice 1, 2, 3. That's good. Flat on view. Oh yeah, so the enable key is none, so I need to set one. So we'll just create another one. Let's see, button interactable. Actually, it will be buttons interactable. So GUI comps. Actually, we do it like this. Buttons. Oh, can't type. There we go. Buttons interactable equals scene. Or actually, it's GUI components. Get or register. Subscribable boolean. And I need to create a new value here. So what should I call it? Okay, I guess that's turn order selection option 2. So turn order selection interactable. And then all I need to do is down here just turn the set the interactable on and off to the opposite of the ready status, just like I did for the other buttons. I don't think there's any other time than it that they need to be turned on and off, so I think it's just that simple. Right, so now in here I need to select all 3 buttons and set the key. So let's go down. Oops. Alright, I'm just going to check to make sure it's all correct. Okay. So now we'll rebuild the second player and test it. So if I press ready, okay, so I saw one problem. They start off uninteractable, so I need to set that value to true when the game loads. It's loading up. Yeah, definitely on the next game I'll need to create some way to simulate a second player so we don't have to rebuild this client every time. Alright, so now they're selectable at first, and then when I press the ready button then they gray out. Let's make sure it does it here as well. Alright, good. That's another item off the list. Okay, so now I wanted to add text on the play screen to show what player is active. So I guess just a small button down at the bottom. Or not button, small text. 16. Okay, that looks fine. Okay, so we'll need to change some of this stuff. Okay, so let's make that new class. So this would be the active turn display. So we want to pass it the chess scene just like normal. Let's close the other objects to clean up the top bar. And then we had the text display. This is simply just text. So we'll need to change the value whenever the turn number changes, basically. I don't even know if we have an event for that, so I might have to create it. I don't, not like that's difficult. So private void, let's call it refresh text, and we'll need a copy of the board to get the turn number. Okay, so let's see, if board.activePlayer is the local player, which means that it's our turn, then we want to set the text to string format, turn number, whatever, your turn. And then we want to pass the turn number, so it'd be board turn number. Okay, and then otherwise it's the other player's turn. It's the opponent's turn. Some other things we need to do is we need to hide the text if the match state is not in play or in the actual game state. Like if we don't want to have this state or this show up during the intro or during the game over screen. So private void on match state change, we set text visibility value is equal to match states. Oh, I did this wrong. Should be a state machine. So whenever the match state is play, that means this text will be visible. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get references to all the data we need. Oops. Alright, iCraze, thanks for coming out and watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Alright, so on match state change, just to initialize this. So if we don't even have a reference to the board, then we just won't do this. Let's see. So I want to get. I'll do this. You don't need this. I'm trying to look for code to copy and paste to get the board. Okay, yeah, here's what I need. Is this? Oh, and then of course I've got to create the text display object. So text equals scene components get or register. Component keys. Okay, so we'll call this active turn text. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Text display dot create. Okay, and then refresh text. Let's call that. Oh, it actually won't do anything because the board is null. Okay, so let's just set text to empty for now, and visibility to false. Oh, I gotta save value here. Okay, and then last thing I need to do is in the chess scene, I need to create the object for this. So play UI dot active turn display. Okay, so this is actually the turn display. Oop. Okay, just saving. Now I need to, there we go, set the key here in Unity. And that should be all I need to do. I guess there's no way to tell until we've started it up. It's been just over an hour and we've already almost done my 3 goals, so I guess we'll have time to do some more polish. Alright, so load up chess. It's not showing up down there. So let's see, what could be the problem? Turn display. Huh. Let's just try and move once and see if it updates. No. I created it, didn't I? Yeah, active turn display right there. Oh, I didn't subscribe to the match change state message. Alright, so int subscribe, so new simple listener. Alright, so we can just throw out the argument like usual. Okay, there we go. I think that will fix it. Alright. Still not showing up. How come? Okay, it's just not... text isn't... Oh, of course. I just said earlier that we didn't have the event for when the turn changes. So I do need to set that up. Alright, so in the turn manager, we really just need a special event whenever this is called. And I think I'll need to create one. There might have been, I might have had one at some point. Alright, so this is a turn change. So turn change equals scene components get or register message component keys. Yeah, so I have this turn active player, but I don't know if it's already in use. So let's say I'll just call it turn change. Oh, I didn't want to do that. And so we don't want to rename, we want to generate a new enumeration. And then all I gotta do is right here, turn change send. This is really the only time when the turn number is different. I guess whenever whenever we get a new board, the turn could also change. So let's so we got the new board, and then also call refresh text. Okay, and then scene components get or register component keys turn change search create, and then we just subscribe. Okay. Right, so yeah, I remembered all the events this time. Alright, so let's load it all up again. Start. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, turn number 0. Okay, so we need to increment it. Oh, hey Storm, how are you doing? So turn 1. Alright, so the number is a little strange. I'm not sure if that's how people normally think of turns, but this looks pretty good. Oh, I'm doing good, Storm. Just checking things off the to-do list here. Alright, so yeah, we'll increment this by 1. Alright, that's good to hear. I think that's all I've got to do for that. Alright, so we can rotate these towards the center. I think I'll just do this the simple way. Ideally they'd kind of rotate in the direction they just moved, but that's kind of a big project because right now the game has no concept of the piece facing, so. Oh, we don't want to, not the board creator, it's the piece. So really, if the owner player is the second player, we just need to rotate them by 180 degrees. Checked. Transform. Rotation equals. Okay, so this function rotates by each axis, so the x-axis first, then the y-axis, and the z. And so we want to rotate around the y-axis because it moves straight up and down. So we do that if piece owner player is second, then we rotate by 180 degrees. So let's load everything up and see how that looks. Okay, now the knights are facing towards us, so good. Okay. Yeah, see, what I'd really like to do is say if you moved the knight kind of horizontally like this, so that it would actually turn the face over this direction, but we won't do that for now. But really, we just need a lot better animations because the piece should kind of be able to jump and things like that. But so now I think that's all done. Okay, so this camera is actually like piece rotation. That's kind of a big project, so probably will not get to that. But we can do some of these other things. Like this indicator overlap should be relatively easy. Let's see. Here's mods. So table of contents. So maybe each indicator should have a height. Well, actually, letting us add the height on a per model basis, so I don't know if that'd be very easy to do. Where's the class that we store that stuff? This is what I'm looking for. So right now we just have an integer to the models. See, I guess similarly we could store heights here, but a much easier way to just have a constant height. So let's just do that. So public float indicator overlap height. Or how about instead of overlap, let's call it stacking height. Okay, and then I'll just also store it in here. So here, move option models. So right now I have this height offset, oh yeah, which is it's right here. So now we get it from the database. So database indicators dot height. Okay, so now the mod translator needs to set that in the database. Okay, so we just move it down here. So floated dot table of contents dot indicator stacking height. So I think it would default to 0 if nothing is given, so I guess if it's greater than 0, then we'll insert the actual value into the database. Oops. Otherwise, we'll put some default value. Let's go with that. Alright, so is that... I think that's all I had to do for this. Okay, so... show hide. Let's see, got about 35 minutes. So basically here, so if we want to do this, the server should send a message back to rejected clients, telling them why they were rejected. If we want to do this, it's just UI stuff. Well, I guess I should, of course, test the indicators real quick. Alright, so... I'll set it to... I'll set it to 25. And then why don't we change the default just to 1. So let's see how this goes. Oh, okay. Alright, so all seems to be fine. Oh, except nothing is stacking right now, so I'll just move a couple objects until we can see what capturing looks like. Okay, so yeah, difference is 25. I guess actually I should make sure. Okay, so this capture is at 0. And let's see. Yeah, okay, this one's at 25. So it's working good. 25 is way too small though, so I forget what did I have it on before. But anyway. Alright, so I think that the biggest thing that the game is missing is probably the camera. So we have about a little over 30 minutes, so I'll try to implement it as much as I can. I think we'll just do something simple like hold down right mouse button and you can zoom around or rotate the camera. Okay. Alright, so oh, 41 minutes. Yeah, usually, yeah, that's if I ended about 6:10 my time, that'd be about right. So let's see if I can complete it in time. Right, so let's have. The good thing about the camera though is that it's pretty much self-contained. So if I don't finish it in time, I can just deactivate it and it won't really cause any problems. Yeah, I usually do, so maybe plan on it today. Yeah, I usually do. It's private, subscribable. I'm trying to figure out if this is the way I want to do it or not. I guess it's probably safest. Okay, so a quaternion is basically how Unity represents a 3D rotation. So let's see. Well, they're kind of hard to explain, but just trust me on that. So what's it complaining about? Oh, they're not equatable? So I guess I kind of need to make a special object for a quaternion, do I? Okay, we could do that real quick. Do I like the new PC case? Let me look and see. Oh, that does look cool, actually. I don't know the specs or anything, but I do like the look of it. Not too flashy, but still has some cool lights. Alright, so yeah, Unity's built-in structures don't implement a lot of these equality things, so it makes them a little difficult to work with. Oh, you did? You bought that one to make your PC? I think, yeah, it looks like a good choice to me. What's it not like? Oh, I just didn't set everything up. Does it have an equals function? Not really. So a dot x equals b dot x. A dot y equals b dot y. I should probably... Well, no, I don't want to do approximately. Okay, yeah, I was wondering how expensive it was. But yeah, $199 isn't too bad. I think a lot of people they don't want to spend too much on a case, but I really don't think it's something to skimp out on. Identity. Okay, so now that's all set up. Okay, so first, oh, I put this outside the class by accident. So public camera controller, and then rotation equals scene. Let's get add a new component here. Let's call it the game camera. Quaternion. Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be get or register. Okay, so how else will I do this? I guess I need to track if the right mouse button is clicked. Let's just call this track mouse button, and then I'll need subscribable Factor 2, which is, this is mouse change, and also okay, well we also want to check if, like, I don't know, if we press Q or something to recenter the mouse in case it, recenter the camera. So scene, components, get, or register. Keys, this is camera, track, mouse. Okay, and I don't think that we'll need to subscribe to changes, because we'll basically just, every game update we'll check if it's true or not. Then same with this mouse change. Well, I don't really need to put camera in front. This is just mouse change. And then lastly, we'll have recenter camera. Oops. Scene, components, get or register. So this would be camera center, or how about camera recenter button. And this, okay. Yeah, I don't know why that popped up, but I actually do want to change this. Put button on the end of the name. Okay, so subscribe, and that will happen when the button is released. I think that's what I call this class. Yeah. Okay, on recenter camera. Or we could just call that. And then we'll probably want to have, like, the very first time the board is created, we'll want to recenter the camera as well. So let's so we have private, and the only reason we need this is because the board will tell us which player you are, so that would let us recenter the camera. Alright, let's see. So bool first board equals board is null. So if first board, then we call recenter camera. Alright. And let's it's the main camera right now. That doesn't help much. So this is the camera anchor. So this is, oops, I spelled that all wrong. Okay, so set this to 0, 0. And the main camera is a child of it. So basically the position here is, wait, so how should I do this? Yeah, let's figure this out right first. So yeah, the rotation should be facing backwards towards the center. I guess I can just pull out a prefab of the board. Okay, so interesting. So this Y I think should be nothing. And the Z object here is kind of like the zoom value of the camera. And it will depend on basically the world size that the mod sets. So let's pick a good rotation here. That's not too bad. And then if we wanted to be on the other side of the board, we'd rotate around Y, so it'd be 180. Okay. I guess maybe we could set those values in the mod as well, but I guess we'll see how far I get. I'm still doing pretty good. Okay, so recenter camera. So private const. Does have to be private really. Float. Default. Rotation. Or I guess it'd be a default X rotation. Is 30. So floats Y rotation equals board dot local player order. Okay. First. If you're second, then you're on the other side of the board, so rotate 180. Okay, so rotation, oops, value equals Turnian, Euler, so default X rotation, then Y rotation, and 0 for the Z. So yeah, let's go ahead and hook up some of these things. And then I need to create a new object here. So this is basically just basically just matches whatever we put into those objects. And it's mono behavior. I think I spelled it right the first time. So void start. Oops. Alright, so private, subscribable, quaternion, rotation. equals link game scene components. Component keys. Oh yeah, I don't have the namespace yet. There we go. So game camera. I should actually rename this because this is only the game camera rotation. Does it not have scene components? Oh right, and then I need to call a function. Okay, is it happy now? Oh wait, too many parentheses. Then rotation, subscribe. So on rotation, or let's call it refresh rotation. Then we'll also call this right here. So we should probably also have a way to set the zoom for the camera, but I'll only do that if I have time. Okay, so transform dot rotation equals rotation dot value. Then I gotta add this to Unity. Right, update. Oops. Okay, so let's load it up and see if that works. Well, actually, will it give me any errors? Actually, well no. I need to set these values next. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so it's set the right side, and you can see, oh, it's really hard to see. The lighting is so weird on the client. I don't know why it does this. I mean, it looks great here, but for some reason in the editor, the light just doesn't work right. But you can tell these are the black pieces. And our camera anchor is rotated 180 degrees. Alright. So also in the placing, I think I already had this input setter. So subscribable bool. So we've got camera, mouse watch, private vector 2, mouse, difference, and private, subscribable bool, recenter camera. And I'm just gonna get them all here. Oop, what did I press? Oh, page down. So we could just do get here instead of get, or register. But then we do need to change this. Okay. Change this to mouse track since that's what I used. And then yeah, mouse change. Alright, this is a subscribable vector too. Okay, so the camera mouse track is easy. It's input, get key, key code, mouse 1. Alright, gotta save dot value. And then recenter camera. What should I set this to? Key code. I guess I'll just space. Okay, and mouse change. Okay, so private vector to last mouse position. Position equals input mouse present. Oh, okay. And then vector 2. Alright, we got to do that actually. So mouse change value equals mouse position minus last mouse position. Okay. Then another thing I need to do is cursor. There's a way you can hide the cursor. Yeah, so cursor visible equals camera mouse track. We'll just do this here. Actually, I might as well just do it in the camera controller. Okay, and then if track mouse button okay, so private vector 2 okay, so the only problem with this is that really we'd want to let the player somehow be able to edit how fast or how much mouse sensitivity there is, but I don't know how much to put here. I'll just start with 1. Alright, so vector 2 rotate by mouse equals mouse change times mouse sensitivity. Then rotation dot value equals rotation. Forget the order you do this. I guess we'll just see. So quaternion axis. What is it? So let's see, quaternion start rotation equals rotation dot value. Okay, so first we want to do, we'll rotate by the x, which is horizontal, so we want to rotate basically start rotation. Times vector 3 up. Rotate by mouse. Oh, I did it opposite. Okay, so this is probably pretty confusing. Basically, the angle axis returns a rotation this many degrees around this angle. And what this does is I take this quaternion and basically rotate a straight up vector by the rotation defined at the start. So all in all, we basically will rotate the camera horizontally by this many degrees. Next, we'll want to rotate it vertically. Which we do the same thing, except we use the y value, and then we rotate around the right vector. And then finally, you add the start rotation at the beginning. I mean, towards the very end. So it's kind of like you rotate this start rotation by these two rotations. All right, hey Storm. Okay, so let's see how this works. Oh, I need to add this object to the update list. I guess we'll need a tick upper. Alright. Okay, so hopefully this works the first time, because we're starting to run out of time, and I would like to add zoom to the mouses, or to the camera as well. Alright, there we go. Okay, so good, no errors. Oh, it does work, okay. It's a little bizarre, but... if you go underneath, I think you can... Can you still select pieces down here? Okay, so let's try... Oh, see the way I did UVs on this model is not very good, but... Oh yeah, you can't select them through the board, it's kind of weird. Ooh, it's a little disorienting. And then if I press space it goes back, so that's good. Do I think that 9650X CPU, too much power? Well, I mean, if you're planning to stream and game at a high high resolution and quality, then you will need a pretty powerful PC. So I don't know if you can really go overboard in that respect. I guess it depends what kind of games you expect to play. Alright, so this camera, it works, but it's not really super practical, but that's okay. I just wanted to get something. Alright, so I do have time to do zooming real quick. Thankfully that worked the first time. So I'll do private, subscribable float. Do I have that? Okay. And so this is the camera zoom. And then I already have subscribable int mouse wheel. And how it'll work is that if you press the mouse wheel while you're holding down right click, I think I should just lower this a little bit actually, while I'm thinking about it, then it will zoom for you. So let's see, float, zoom increment. Let's go by float, zoom, minimum, I don't know, 1, const float, zoom max, 30, and const float, zoom default is 10. I'm not sure what we're at right now. COD, Doom, GTA 5. Yeah, then you probably need a pretty powerful PC. Yeah, definitely a CPU. That will help a lot for streaming, and then the graphics card would mostly just be for that game itself. That does help with like rendering scenes for 3D modeling, but I think pretty much if you have a PC that can play any of those games on Ultra, I think that you'll be able to render any model in a pretty good time, from my experience anyway. So let's see what the zoom is at right now, because it's pretty good. Okay, so 25 actually, so that's more than I thought. 25, so let's make it double. Okay, so just zoom, scene components, get or register, subscribable float. Am I 3D modeler? Yeah, that's what you'd call it. I did take a few 3D modeling classes, but I wouldn't say I'm like professional or anything. Subscribable float. Okay, so we'll just start off with zoom default. Okay, so zoom dot value equals math clamp. So the value is zoom value times mouse wheel value times zoom increment, and then the minimum. Oops. Zoom. Come on. Please. Alright, there we go. And that's all we gotta do there, really. With a few classes, yeah, I took 2 semesters, so yeah, 1 year. Alright, and then we just gotta grab the zoom here. Subscribable float. Zoom equals game link game. Skit auto register. Actually, could just call get, but opponent keys, game camera zoom. Oops. And then we need to subscribe to it. Oops, I don't know why I did an extra parenthesis right there. Simple listener. So refresh, zoom, and then we'll call it right here as well. Okay, so we need to get a reference to the camera now. Transform child, and then the child is get component and children, camera, transform. Okay. So is it negative or not? Oh gosh, Storm, please no. But yeah, it'll just be for a couple days. So, okay, so it is negative. Position equals new. So yeah, I think I finished it. Hopefully there's not going to be any bugs. Alright. Oh wow. Oh, I think I didn't set the negative, did I? Oh, I did, but it didn't work right, did it? Oh, I need to set the local position, that was the problem. Oh, I'm sorry, Storm. You can't stream 24/7. Plus, I'm hungry. Okay, so is this it? Will this do it for us? Huh. I don't know why it zoomed out so much. Oh, did I not do that? Yeah, this should say child, local transform, local position. I could definitely go for some chips right now. no, looks like just on time. So I'll say I wasn't late if it works this time. Okay, and so now if I hold right click, oh no. Did I not get it? So something is, oh, the mouse wheel. Okay. So mouse wheel, I think I already set this up. Get or register. So now I'm officially 1 minute late. Didn't I have the wheel? Okay, I call it scroll wheel. Oh well. Oh, come on. Okay, 3 minutes. Well, there is a short delay on Twitch, so like my watch right now says, oh, it does say 6:13, so. Okay, good. Now it looks like, oh. So something is strange still going on, but I guess I'll fix it off camera. I don't think it'll be. Yeah, for some reason when I right click, it like automatically zooms into the minimum. One hour of stream to do. Sometimes I do wish I could stream more, but just don't really have the time. So min, max. Oh, it should be plus here, not multiply. Okay, well I really want to see if this can work, so I'll try it one more time. But yeah, if this is still bugged, then I've got to leave. Although next weekend I will be streaming almost for 2 days straight, so hopefully that will help a little bit for you. Okay, so it's kind of backwards because I'm scrolling forward and it's moving the camera out, but at least it works. Yeah, it works. Cool. Do not let us stream as much as we want exactly. Okay, well, cool. And then if I press space, it goes back. Alright. Okay, so I guess. Okay, so there's still more stuff we could do, obviously. I mean, there's still a ton more that we could do to the game to make it better. But you gotta stop at some point. So. Yeah, 48 hours. There's a competition next weekend where you try and make a game in 48 hours. Of course, I will take breaks to sleep, but I'm planning to stream the entire time I'm working on the game. It starts Friday. I think, well, it's 8 my time, so that's 9 Eastern. And it goes until, I guess, 8 on Sunday night, so But yeah, so this weekend I'll be preparing to start a new project on Monday, and I'm not sure exactly what we'll do Monday. I haven't decided how much of the design I want to show on the stream because that might be kind of boring, but yeah, we'll see. Oh, 1 a.m. for you. But yeah, I'll be streaming pretty much all day Saturday, so I'm sure you can catch me. But anyway, yeah, it's been nice chatting to you, Storm, and everybody else, and thanks again for watching, and I'll be back Monday at 5 Eastern. Alright, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.